Check it out, guys. We officially have our first look at how the submarine system is going to work inside of Blox Fruits, and I think this actually looks pretty cool. I'm going to play the video, and then I'll break down my thoughts a little bit more afterwards. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and break this down. First off, you guys can see this looks to be sort of like a developer type account. Money-wise, they've got 999 million, which is pretty darn impressive. I gotta say, I'm trying to work over there myself. I'm sitting at 417 million myself, and I'm not an admin. I've just been grinding like crazy. And I did recently get everything to 600 mastery. So fighting so many NPCs, having the 2x mastery, the 2x drop, that definitely helped me get to that goal. And that 2x drop rate, 2x money, I should say, is what really helped me get that amount. Anyways, so taking a look back at this account, this video, you guys can also see the level is some crazy high number. I'm not even going to go ahead and read that through. The health is crazy. The energy is crazy. So this account right here definitely has more privileges than, say, an account like mine or yours. Yours or mine. And over here, we're at Tiki Island. You guys can see that there is the submarine. In a minute here, I'll show you how you'll be able to find this location if you do not already know it. This is located in the third sea. And as we play this through just a little bit more, you guys can see that there is an NPC down here. This is the submarine worker. Right next to the submarine, there's this little bench here. There's a scroll system, some big gears. He says, you like what I've done with this thing? And you can say yes or never mind. Your help cleaning up the trouble on this island has earned you our trust. I'd be happy to give you a ride to our homeland down below. Want to take a ride? And you have an option of yes or no. Based on the dialogue here, I'm assuming that you could only access this other island once you've actually cleared out leveling up past that of Tiki, because it would seem a little bit weird. Don't you guys think? If you're, say, just entering into the third sea, you want to go check out this underwater world, and you go talk to them, and they're like, hey, thank you for helping clean up the island. But you didn't. You didn't do anything on the island. We'll have to wait and see how that actually plays out, but that's my suspicion at least. And so he says, want to take a ride? You click on yes. You get a nice little cutscene, which is pretty cool. This transition effect right here, I can't be the only one that's thinking about this. This reminds me of SpongeBob. If you guys watch SpongeBob, there's transitions that takes place going from one scene to another. There's a bubble effect, a little bubble sound. It kind of reminds me of that, but it's also got a little bit of an original vibe to it. And personally, I think it looks great. So then you show up to the port. This is the underwater island. And notice here that the camera doesn't zoom out too far. We're not actually being able to see that much across the top. So from this point of view, I'm not seeing any NPCs off in the background, but we are able to see a little bit more of just the port system itself here. So a quick look left and right. Then you guys can see that the submarine worker is located over there to the right. Ready to head back up. I can make a stop to any island on the way if you'll pay for the fuel. And then you can click on travel, and then this pulls up a menu. So if you guys have not used the portal fruit in this game, this menu overlay is essentially the same thing, except with this, you guys can see that there is a financial value, meaning that Belly does have more of a purpose here. And you also notice that some of these are higher valued compared to other ones. Why that's the case, I'm not totally sure. It might be because some of these are more considered of starter areas. Tiki Outpost, you notice, is free. It's because it's the closest one. Actually, now that I think about it, it's probably more so based on distance and also possibly early on access to it. Port is a lower price, meaning if you're trying to go to port, you're probably wanting to go to the next sea. And so they lowered it to make it a little bit easier there. Sea Castle, people going there for pirate raids or to do regular raids. So I'm sure it's a multitude of factors of why they have different prices, not just one. And so in this example, they say, I want to go to Hydra. So you got to pay 20,000. Again, nice little cutscene animation. And then boom, get taken over to there. But isn't this, hold on, is this even Hydra? They clicked on Hydra, right? Is that Hydra? Yes, that is Hydra. Okay. At first I thought this was port. Kind of cool, by the way, seeing all the lanterns. I don't think I've really noticed that before. That's not new, is it? These lanterns, they look like what you would see over at the Dragon Dojo. I just noticed that you guys can see that at the port. Pretty cool little extra detail. And then look, if you just wait a little bit, you can then see that the submarine drops down. So I think it's only a one-time use unless you happen to be at Tiki, or if you go to the underwater city, then you have access to it. But otherwise, if you get dropped off at some other island, it just ends up disappearing. I don't even know if you can actually go back to the submarine. Possibly you jump over to it, and then it would give you an opportunity to hop back in and go somewhere else. That might be a thing, because it does seem like it has a slight cooldown, but that cooldown time, I would suspect, is just for pure visuals. So yeah, this will help you guys be able to navigate to other places. Now, you may be wondering why exactly you would want to use this in comparison to that of the portal fruit, because if I press C on the portal fruit, it pulls up World Warp, and I have access to all these different ones. And you guys can see it's yellow, it's not blue. Was that blue or purple? That was, what color was that? Yeah, it's a blue color. So it's a little bit of a different color. Cake Land, Chocolate Land, everything, Turtle Mountain there in the bottom right. So yeah, basically it's the same exact layout. It's just different color, and then they have the money value on the bottom. Portal doesn't cost you anything. But the thing is, a lot of you that play this game, you do not have a permanent fruit. So being able to use Portal whenever you freely want to is kind of a luxury. So for those of you that can't afford it, don't have it, you're not using Portal currently, you don't want to eat it quite yet, technically you do have an option. If you're close to Tiki, you could go ahead and go use the submarine there and then be able to have access to go to other locations. So that's a perk benefit of using the submarine in comparison to the portal fruit. But in reality, if you have portal fruit and you do have a permanent portal fruit, you're definitely getting a lot more accessibility. You just pull this up and travel anywhere you want to super fast. No cutscene, and you're already on land, and sometimes you're a little bit more inland, and you're good to go, right? So how do you find the submarine? Let's go ahead and show you guys real quick. So when you come over here to Tiki Island, you guys can see that the Castle in the Sea is over there in the middle. You have the ports right here, and then located over to the left here is going to be where you have the Tyrant of the Skies. Like if you're trying to go ahead and do that, let's go ahead and go over this way just a tad bit more. And for some reason, didn't let me jump there. Just going to go ahead and jump our way through. And yeah, so for those of you that don't know, this is an area where you could have a big boss fight, drops different items, and you just basically kill the NPCs around this island. And after you kill so many, one of the eyes will light up on the statue. You have to keep doing it till both eyes are lit up on that statue and both eyes are lit up on that statue. And then you destroy all of these pots several times, these large pots right here, and then it summons Tyrant of the Skies. And it is a hard boss. It's not easy to beat. So you come down here, and you guys can see on the other side of that, it says Subport 01. And boom, there you go. There is the submarine. And then located just a little bit off to the side here is going to be that NPC. There he is, the submarine worker. Now, the update is not out yet, so let's see what he says for now. Ah, you spotted my beauty in progress. Once she's patched up, we'll be exploring depths folks only dream about. Think of glowing creatures, sunken wrecks, and traces of ancient civilizations. But first, I need to get her fully ready. And we can't click on this little scroll here. I'm curious if we'll be able to have access to that later on at some point as well. And I can't even walk into that space. It's totally blocked off. And notice that I can stand in the space. I'm not taking damage. It's not like, uh-oh, there's the ocean water, I'm getting damaged. So I don't know if that's going to be a thing as well in the future. Hopefully not, because I think a lot of players would get really upset if you just walked over here and then you start taking damage and then, uh-oh, you're going to die. So anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Check out the new update here, and hopefully not too long. The official trailer video is going to be launching on August 14th. I'll be covering that as well and sharing my thoughts and showcasing you guys a little bit more details if there's anything juicy that I find. So I appreciate you guys so much. By the way, there's a little propeller here. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to hit subscribe. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.